on, folks? It is Geeked Out right here on DefTal Radio. I'm your man, JQ. This is Free.
Yo.
This is Chandler.
Yo.
And Megan is not here today because you know what? She's hopefully trying out for a spot on The Price is Right.
And not only that,
But that's all we can say.
She's a bona fide superstar. She's on Ragnarok and all that stuff, Walking Dead. So she's got a full schedule ahead.
So wait. When we talked to her last week, she said that something about wearing a costume. I only thought they did that on what's that TV show again?
Which one?
Let's make a deal. Remember, Let's make a deal. Like people would show up in costumes.
People would dress up in different costumes.
Are they doing that on Prices Right now?
Well, the reason why is because people want to get chosen to participate.
Oh, gotcha.
And so basically they're peacocking, where it's like, well, if I dress up as a baby, you're gonna choose me. So yeah,
I get it. Okay, so then. All right, so let's good luck to Megan. Hopefully by the time we see her next week, she should come back with 3 refrigerators.
Yep,
and
a
stuff.
moped and a Plinko.
Yeah,
kit.
something like that.
What's a moped for?
That's for me.
Guy.
You need a moped?
Well, I'm lazy. I just want to go to the market.
They don't. There's only 2 spots in the U.S. where I know there's a lot of mopeds, and it's Hawaii and Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of them.
I've seen a lot here.
I've seen a lot in the San Diego area.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're getting replaced with those motorized scooters.
the bird scooters.
The bird scooters, and man, they're everywhere.
So I got a story. So last San Diego Comic Con, I'm sitting there outside, and I look across the street, and I see 2 people, each one have on a bird, and mind you, it's like the little razor scooters. So they're on the birds, and then one person's holding another one. So I don't know what they're doing, but those things are timed, and if you run out of time, then they cut you
shut off. Yeah.
So you see these 2 people just jamming on the birds, and they're going, and I guess the time just ran out because they both stopped, and then they just crashed and landed on the ground. I was like, oh my god! So those things are no joke.
That's funny.
Also, I want to give a shout out to our sound guy, our producer Jeff Jens, aka DJ De Niro. He is recovering from surgery right now.
He's down for the count.
He's down for the count. It's outpatient surgery, so he'll be fine. Just wish you speedy recovery, and we'll see you next week.
All right.
He'll be here next
Hang
week.
in there, Jeff.
So
you know what? Just keep that bottle of whiskey nearby, and that will help get you through the pain.
Oh no whiskey.
No whiskey.
Anyways, all right. So I don't know if you guys heard, but I just read that Superman, the next Superman movie, might get shelved in favor of a Supergirl movie.
Well, that kind of makes sense to me, considering that who's going to play Superman is kind of up in the air. I mean, there's been the talk of whether they're going to keep the current actor that they have, or are they going to replace him. Same thing. Obviously you have Ben Affleck that has formally announced he's not going to return as Batman. So my big question and my hope is that DC and Warner Brothers keeps the actress who plays Supergirl on the TV show. They keep her in what would be the cinematic universe for DC.
I mean, I already thought that when they did Flash, they kind of missed the boat by recasting for another Flash. Come on, you have a great Flash as it is.
Yep.
And then you're gonna recast it to somebody that plays him a totally different way. I don't know. If you look at Flash, Grant Gustin, and you look at if you follow the story in the comic books, you know that there's he might joke a lot or a little bit, but for the most part he's one of those super really heroic types.
But the joking is the writers, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, so. Yeah.
But that's his character, right?
Yeah.
That's his character. But if you look at the way that Ezra Miller did it, he doesn't play the CSI type. It's just he's a kid.
He plays a kid, yeah.
So I don't know. I unless they start with the next Flash movie, which is bound to happen. I want to see his character development. If I don't see that same development that I do see with Grant, then I'm just
Well, it was interesting because an article I was reading yesterday talking about Batman, and it was talking about some of the different actors that they were talking to, or that they were possibly considering. And one of the things that was discussed is the fact that do they go back to a younger Batman, or do they do an older Batman? In that article, it made reference to DC, not DC, Warner Brothers wanting to go with an older Batman, so to allow more crossover stuff. Whereas that if they went with a younger Batman, then it was going to obviously be more origin stuff or early stuff, and not so much crossover. So I think it comes down to what Warner Brothers wants to do with the different characters and where they want to go with them. So.
Yeah, I heard for Batman, I heard that a person in line to play the part is what's his name from the Twilight series, Edward.
From what?
Twilight.
Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson. Yeah, that guy.
Edward.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna see if I can find the article that I read.
Getting back to Superman, honestly, I think DC, if they do decide to forego the Superman for Supergirl, I think they're missing out on a great opportunity. And the reason why I say that is because Henry Cavill, or Cavill or whatever, he's been posting himself working out.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking crazy.
He's huge.
Right? Next to the Superman, the Superman statue. And I think because he's never had a sequel to Superman. If you look at it, he's never had a sequel to Superman. Because
he's had the Man of Steel. Where's the Man of Steel?
Man of Steel, and then Superman versus Batman. Or Batman versus Superman. But he's never had a Superman on his own.
Yeah.
I think they're missing the boat on that because they're pushing him back. They're pushing Superman, one of their greatest and most well-known symbols of DC Comics and the DC Universe, for Trench, which is an Aquaman spinoff because of the Trench, all of that stuff, all the creatures.
I didn't even hear about that one.
Yeah, that just broke like a day or two ago. But yeah, they're pushing Superman, their biggest property, back. And I don't understand. They had the perfect guy to play in, and they,
But I heard, didn't Henry Cavill want to didn't he bow out for the role of Superman?
I mean, he's standing next to Superman working out, in pictures.
Yeah, he's working out for that series on Netflix, Witcher.
Yeah.
But did you see his arms, dude?
They're ridiculous.
His arms are huge. Anyways,
but even if he does decide to bow out, if DC throws enough money at him, I guarantee he's gonna do it. Who doesn't want to play Superman? He's already getting buffed for a role.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of million or two. Guess what? He can buy himself a new house in Montana where he can live.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Montana?
I'm just saying Montana. $2 million on Montana will literally buy you like a quarter of Montana.
Montana's beautiful. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Excuse me. But yeah, I think they're going to miss the boat on that. If they do decide to go with Supergirl, most likely they're going to have to recast her for the cinematic universe, just like how they've been doing from they're separating their characters. Even though it's the same character, they're separating the casting from TV to movies. And they've always done that.
So then who would you cast?
The girl from MacGyver. I don't know. You like the girl from MacGyver. I don't know her name.
Tristan Mays.
I don't know. I think
didn't her name just come up last week also?
For X-23.
See, I went full circle. I've never seen the show, but Quincy here.
I'm a super fan of Tristan Mays.
So he's going to be a Supergirl fan for Tristan Mays. But yeah, so I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of young, upcoming actresses, including Megan here on our show, that could play the character. I mean, I don't know about the Southern twang, but
she's an actress.
You know what? A professional actor or actress is able to get past the accent.
Yeah. Exactly, Hugh Jackman.
That's one of the things that you learn in acting school is you go into take dialect classes and stuff, where you learn how to speak, whether I speak like a Russian or
Australian
or Australian. Yes, that was bad. That's my bad example.
So bad. But I tried to bury that, but I couldn't.
But my point is that's one of the things they teach in acting school is they do have
dialect and all that.
So,
but I mean, again, there's so many out there. If you look at like WB and CW, how many talented actresses that could fill that spot? I mean, I could literally spit in any direction and hit 3 of them in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So.
Well, ironically, one of the names that came up for Batman, which I thought was interesting, and
Quincy
it was
Victoria?
if you were going to hold if you were going to hold the go with what Warner Brothers wants with an older character, was the actor who plays Magneto in the X-Men universe.
Oh,
Fassbender or something.
Michael Fassbender.
Yes.
Fassbender.
Yes, that was
Michael-
one of the names that was mentioned. I thought, interesting.
Like, if they're gonna go
I can see
older-
that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Hey, if they're gonna go older, honestly though, I wouldn't mind seeing John Hamm from
That's
Mad Men.
That's another good one
came
too.
up. They actually were saying that several people in the article were saying they thought he would be a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Just he has that really good look that
For that age group,
that
yeah.
he not only could he obviously wear the cowl, but also working as Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Yeah,
So-
because I mean
Suits and all
we've
that.
seen him
Because you think about it, the actor basically he's playing two characters. He's playing this flamboyant billionaire Bruce Wayne, and he's playing the Dark Knight.
I gotta be honest. I would love to see Christian Bale come back for that role, because I know he didn't want to, after the trilogy and all that. But if he said, "Yeah, I'll do it," I'll be like, "Oh yes, please do it." That's just me. I'm a Christian Bale fan in the role of Batman. So
Yeah, me too. So, with that being said, what do you guys think? Like for Supergirl,
Supergirl.
you got to look for a tall blonde with blue eyes. How hard is that? And even if she wasn't blonde, she just gets a hair color and she's good. Like,
Right.
I mean, you could do.
Well, the fact that you just said tall, that eliminates Megan right off the bat.
Yeah, unfortunately, sorry, Megan.
Unfortunately, Megan.
We love you,
is
but-
not tall.
Like Megan's like, well, CGI can stretch me out and I'll be flying
No,
half the time anyway.
It was funny. She was actually telling me the other last week when we were chatting about it. She was talking about some stuff being on the set of Walking Dead. Where she plays
One of the Whisperers.
One of the Whisperers, and she says there's the one Whisperer who is really, really, really tall, and that they always team her up with him because it makes him look even bigger.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's funny how that happens.
So, I would say, Charlize Theron. Would that be?
You know what? We've seen her with short hair, and we've seen her with medium, and we've seen her with long hair, and she's spectacular. I mean, as an actress, she's spectacular.
But I hate to say this, I think she's too badass for the role.
Is she too old too? What do you think?
I think.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
think she would be too old for the role as well. I think they're going to have to find someone who's going to be in their 20s, and because remember, Supergirl arrives on Earth after Superman does.
Yeah.
And while she was older than Superman when she left Krypton, not by much, but
Yeah.
she was older than Superman when she left Krypton. The fact is, she shows up years after he's there. So, if they cast someone who's in their early to mid 20s, it wouldn't be out of context at all. Would not be out of context at all. So,
Kate Beckinsale.
what's that?
Oh,
Kate Beckinsale.
She can look.
I love you, by the way, Kate.
I still think she's too old for the role.
She
That's
looks
true.
kind of young, though. I think.
Oh man,
I'm not saying that she's old, but I think she's not what we were just talking about. She's not that early 20s.
I mean, let's be
Yeah.
honest. They're probably going to be looking for somebody from like the Vanderkamp Rules or Vampire Diaries or something off of CW, or they're going to look for a really young girl,
Or they stick with the girl they have.
which would be ideal. But come on, it's DC. Their MO is their
You have your TV
casting
universe.
is TV, and then it's
Okay,
casting.
but realize this.
Because you won't see Ben Affleck.
Has DC been starting to learn their lessons? That's the question.
I don't know.
I mean, you look at what's been going on corporate-wise with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know-
you'd think that they've started to learn their lesson, but we still don't have Superman 2 Electric Boogaloo. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have Superman 2. We had Superman, Man of Steel, and then we had the rest of them.
What I'd like to see them do is I'd like to see them flush out more of the Justice League members.
We still haven't-
bring Green Arrow to the big screen.
Yeah. Even Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
It flopped
Yeah,
once.
you got to get Green Lantern back. You got to get him. I'm sorry, again, that was one that was. I think miscast.
Apache Chief. Just the
that-
random ones.
that was miscast. And
Red
the script
Tornado.
was, subpar, but anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was totally thinking about something and I lost it. So, anyways,
Welcome to my world.
all right, guys. When we get back, we're gonna go hit our top 3 topics of the day. Stick around. We're back right here on Geeked Out on DefTal Radio, and I guess you know what? It's time for top 3 topics of the day.
Topics of the
Woo-hoo.
day.
Geeked Out top 3 topics of the day.
All right, topic number 1. John Wick, The Punisher, or Léon the Professional. If you guys remember the movie The Professional from the early 90s.
Yes.
Who wins and who gets taken out first?
Oh. The man, see, the thing is, we all got to think about that, but I've been thinking about this a lot. Okay, now, Jean from The Professional.
Okay.
I think he's, again, he's highly skilled. You know, he's a good teacher and all that with Natalie Portman in the movie. And of course, when he took on the Gary Oldman, by the way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Gary Oldman. Did you take out Gary Oldman? You're already a legend. And then, of course, there's the Punisher. Excuse me, the Punisher with Frank. Excuse me, sorry. With Frank Castle. He's one of those juggernauts where he would just, all right, let's do it. Grab 2 guns and 2 knives and just go nuts.
Yeah.
And of course, John Wick, he's more of an assassin slash, I guess, enforcer for, at the time, the mob. And his skills alone, I think, because, okay, now this is how I ranked them. And the reason why I did it. Jean from The Punisher, he took on one mob, right? The one that was trying to kill the girl and the witness and all that stuff. He took on one mob. Frank, he takes on his former, I guess, teammate with Scarface, whatever his name, Billy, and of course, you know, the mob in his city. Now, John Wick, on the other hand, takes on the Russian mob, kills them all for the other Russian mob so he can get out. Gets back in because the son is stupid and kills his dog. You don't kill somebody's dog. What's wrong with you? And of course, he steals his car. It's not just any car. It's John Wick's car. And so you got all of that. And he's going up against every single assassin on the planet. Every single one. Everybody got that text. All the guys that are sitting down pretending to be homeless, all the guys that's wearing suits in the offices, every single one, and he's just destroying them with a pencil. A pencil, right? So my choice would be John Wick taking it. I mean, they're all going to get beaten up.
Yeah.
They're all going to have bullet holes everywhere. But I think John Wick takes it with finishing with the Punisher, but Jean from Professional, he doesn't get taken out quickly because he's a mastermind. He'll figure it out. But at the same time, if you have John Wick and the Punisher going up against you, I'm sorry, but you can't beat that. So my choice for Ultimate Champion would be John Wick.
And then taking out first would be
Léon the Professional.
But remember, these guys are all fighting each other, so
yeah. But I think,
but it's not like they're gonna team up. It's literally.
I think if they go one-on-one individual, I think John Wick will still take it. But I don't know, one-on-one. If there's just 3 of them in a cage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like worldwide, like they go after each other.
No.
Okay, so if it's just 3 of them in a cage,
yeah,
Punisher.
Punisher first
because he's
Punisher gets taken out first, or
no, he's the one that wins it all.
Okay, and then who gets taken out first?
I think Jean gets taken out first.
Yeah.
Because John Wick is the one that he does all the hand to hand and all that stuff. But yeah, I think in a cage, I mean, Punisher's such a giant. It doesn't matter how many times you shoot him or how many times you beat his face in. He'll just and just go nuts. So, but okay, so 2 categories for that though. If it's out in the real world, John Wick. If it's in a cage, Frank Castle.
And Jean just never comes out of it.
And Jean, he'll put up a good fight, but I mean, sooner or later, there's going to be 2 extremely highly skilled assassins that are just going to be beating on you. That's me. Okay.
Chandler.
Brian Mills.
Who?
Yeah, who's
Brian Mills.
Who's that? Taskmaster?
Anybody see a movie called Taken?
Oh, you can't. That's not the 3 people. And by the way,
wait. You're talking about a badass. Liam Neeson plays a badass in that Taken series.
Okay, he does.
I think 3 movies now. And I mean,
do the
just
same.
Like you said, you don't kill someone's dog. Just like you said, you don't kill someone's dog. You don't kidnap someone's daughter and try to sell her into human slavery.
Okay, those weren't the 3 subjects. But at the same time, if anybody I'm sorry, but if you say the word bananas, right? Because that's how he
Bananas.
that's how he would say the word banana. What is it? I want bananas. That's what you. Anybody that says bananas, I'm sorry, but John will go take you out. Well, okay, so out of the 3.
Out of the 3.
No, I would have to agree that I think basically you look at Castle, you look at his intense military background, and you also look at his mentality. I mean, the man has lost his family.
All or nothing.
He's lost his family, so he's got nothing to lose. And when you're dealing with an individual who has nothing to lose, you are fighting something that you have no way of fighting against, because ultimately he's willing to die, and his attitude is he's going to take your ass down with him. He's willing to die, and he's going to take you with him. Versus if you're like, oh, well, I've got to survive this, and I got to do whatever I have to do to survive it, that includes running away. I don't see Frank Castle running away. So I think in a cage match or whatever you want to call it, Castle wins. You look at the Professional, and that's just again when you're looking at someone such as Professional or John Wick, and you're talking about an assassin. Yes, they have a skill set that is, very unique in what they are capable of doing. But again, when you're just talking about pure animalistic brutality,
you'd have to go to
assassins don't necessarily have that. Assassins, they live to fight the next day, because ultimately, if the situation is not perfect for them, then they're going to back away and they're going to wait till the next situation arises.
But I think that's the reason why John Wick will probably take, in the real world, like outside the cage, because he's hand to hand. He's willing to fight whoever needs to fight with a pencil, and at the same time, even when the situation isn't perfect, he'll adapt to it. You know, when his gun runs out of, he'll use somebody else's gun. So that's the reason why I put him at number one. Like in the real world subject, like Frank is more hand to hand. He's military. He's a Marine.
Frank is or is not?
No, he is.
Yes.
Right. But there's a 50 caliber rifle about a mile away that could take him out, because John Wick is an assassin. Because Leon from
it's Leon, yeah,
Leon.
Jean.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's Jean Renault. I actually called him by his real name. So anyways,
Leon, the professional, he has that same sniper set skill. I don't know. They never really touched on in the movie or the TV show, like the Netflix series, if Frank was a sniper. Now, don't get me wrong. His first appearance and the first cover of Spider-Man, he's over there, with a sniper rifle. So we don't know what their sniper skills are.
Well, I mean, what it comes down to is real life. In real life, you have, in the military, you have guys that are cross-trained in all kinds of equipment, and have the ability. That's where you would have your special forces. Those guys, I mean, whether they pick up an assault rifle, whether they pick up a machine gun, or whether they pick up a rocket launcher, they're going to be able to utilize all those.
Or a slingshot
but a
with a
sniper is a whole different animal. A sniper in the military is someone who has a very, very specific skill set.
A specific set of skills.
And what they're doing. You're not, you don't have snipers that are cross-trained on all kinds of weapons. Yes, basically a sniper is going to be skilled at the long rifle, and they will be skilled at the handgun. The reason for it is because the handgun is their backup.
Yep.
That's it. If you actually do any kind of research on different snipers that have been in the military, whether you look at, I'm trying to remember one that was very well known during Vietnam, which was, I believe his name was Carlos Hitchcock.
Yep.
That dude.
And, he at one point had the most number of kills in the military, confirmed kills, going back to Vietnam. And I think one of those kills was over a mile away. It was a Viet Cong general, and it was like a mile away. Think about that. A friggin' mile away, okay? And we're not talking about the days when you have satellite that's able to transmit video images and stuff like that. We're talking about just looking through a scope, a magnifying scope, or a magnification scope. Even then, you're seeing
a mile.
You're just seeing a little dot.
Right, you see a speck.
Yeah,
I think it was the same guy. So I remember there was a story where he was in the field in Vietnam, and across the way there was a sniper in the bush. I forgot the distance. Probably, could have been like 100 yards. Could have been more. But he made the mistake of getting the glint of the sun. The Vietnam sniper had the glint of the sun coming off the lens, and he nailed him. So he was like, boom, hits him straight through the sniper rifle into his eye.
Yeah,
I was like, dang, that's
crazy.
Well, the reason for it is what did Carlos key on? He keyed on the reflection.
Yeah,
he couldn't necessarily see the body of the individual, but he keyed on the reflection. And the fact is that knowing where the reflection is, that gives you an idea of where the target's head is.
Yeah, you just point right at the reflection and shoot. But after saying, okay, so just a little on Carlos, by the way, his call name was White Feather, and the reason why is because he literally put a white feather in his outfit, even though you can't see nothing else. As a I guess like a, what you call that? Like a little thing towards the Vietnam guy or the Viet Cong, saying, "Yeah, I'm right here. You can shoot me, but you're not gonna, because I'm gonna shoot you first." Like that.
He's taunting him.
Yeah, he's taunting him. Thank you. And I was like, "Yes, that's awesome."
All right, my
Getting
turn.
back to it.
My turn.
All right, who is it?
Okay,
John Wick.
So you know what?
Punisher.
Yeah, John Wick, Punisher, and Léon the Professional in a
Léon.
cage. I think this is the first time we're all in agreement, because I too believe that Punisher, as you guys had always said, will be like animalistic and all that. And I think the only reason why Léon gets taken out first is because he's out of his element.
He's what?
He's out of his element.
Yeah.
Yes.
He doesn't have the shadows to prep in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you look at how he trained in the Professional, it was like you start with a sniper, like that's your first weapon you start off with, and then when you're really good, you end with just a knife, right? But if you ever look at the movie, he never got into any real fist fights. It was all gunfight, right? Gunplay.
It was shadows.
Yeah.
Shadow work.
John Wick is a great combination of both. He can do either one. But if you're stuck in a cage with Frank,
The mentality. That's where mentality comes in.
if you're stuck in a cage with Frank, it's over.
So you might as well just be in there with a tiger.
Yeah.
And even then, you'd be like, I'll take the tiger. Leave Frank on the outside.
Like, what's a great example? Punisher season 1, when he was in the jail, and he was in the hallway with 6 guys.
And he just once he gets that growl going, you're like, he's gonna just go ahead and kill 20 people.
It's insane, man. It's insane. So, anyways,
Yes.
That's it for the first topic.
Okay.
Second topic is: do you have any artist recommendations from any publisher? And it can't be anybody legendary. It can't be anybody hot right now. Anybody that's up and coming.
Wait a minute. It cannot be
cannot
legendary.
be
So it can't be Steranko.
You can't-
It cannot be legendary, and it can't be anyone hot right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jim Lee, Ken Lashley, like those guys. Who's the underground
But wait. When you say hot right now, are you talking about someone like Jim Lee, or are you talking about someone who is
Like Ken Lashley's hot right now. He's been hot for a while.
okay?
John Boy's been hot for a while. What's another one?
Sia Ohm.
Sia Ohm. Lineal Yu. What's another one?
Quincy Victoria.
Yeah, Free Isabello.
Like get those
We
guys.
can't- Yeah, we can't name those guys. Who else? Like basically, if they're on a hot book right now, and people are following them, they don't count.
So what book are we looking at to put them on?
That's a good question. I would just say just going past their past credits.
Okay. Well, let me start off. I'll go with Paolo Pantalena. He's one of the artists at Aspen Comics.
Okay.
Conan. I mean, there's so many guys. Oh my goodness. Like you said, we can't take the Tyler Kirkins, Kirkin or whatever. So I'll take Paolo Pantalena from Aspen Comics.
Yep.
He was working on Deathstroke and Harley Quinn for a little while. But I would actually love to see his take on X-Men. And I'm not just talking like the gold team, the red team, whatever. I want the original blue team that Jim Lee put together for X-Men #1.
Nice.
I think his style would just be ridiculous on that. So that'd be my book and my artist. Ink wise, I'd love. Well, he's I think he does his own ink, but I'd love to see Richard Friend or Joe Weems on the inks. But let's be honest, I'll take Danny Mickey for inks on it. Colors, I'll take Alex Sinclair, of course, but again, he's legendary.
That's legendary.
And right now he's hot, so I can't take Peter Steigerwald from Aspen Comics, even though I really wish I could. His work on Lady Mechanica and everybody else is just ridiculous. I don't know who the colors would be, but for now, the artist would be Paolo Pantalena. The book would be X-Men #1, basically the blue team, and with Danny Mickey as inks.
Gotcha.
All right.
Well, since Chandler's on his phone looking, I'm going to go ahead and go next. I would go with, there's a gentleman that I actually caught on YouTube, and he would do like, his videos would be named like super detailed version of this character, super detailed version.
Yeah.
So his name is James. God, I want to say Rice, Reis. Reese.
James
Reis.
He's Filipino, so
Huh?
he's Filipino. So we don't switch it over.
Res.
But he has done. I think he's worked on a few Transformers books in the back in the days.
Yeah.
But I've seen his work. You know what I could totally see him doing is I could totally see him doing, like a Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. One of the space epics.
Now, if anybody out there is listening, if you haven't seen his Instagram posts and all that kind of stuff on Facebook, he just recently, well, not recently, but he did a Galactus.
Oh man,
That would just blow your mind. So to have him on something like Guardians of the Galaxy, doing like celestial beings, oh my goodness. Now, granted, I don't know how long it would take him to do a book, but that book would be just insane. That would just be an insane book.
What's his?
I agree with you. That's a great.
Oh God.
Artist.
What's his name on YouTube? I'm trying to figure it out.
no
That's
idea.
like the Hollywood artist or
Well, if anything, you could just look up his name. What was his name again? James Reese.
Reese. Oh.
James Reese. So you most likely could just look that up on
See,
YouTube.
I want to look it up right now. Like, God.
So, but yeah, he does a highly detailed,
Is it oh no, sorry.
Ink work, and I haven't seen his color work yet, but
His color work's okay.
yeah, but his inks are insane. Like
No, that's not.
when he actually puts up most detailed Galactus you'll ever see, yeah, that's basically it. I mean, I've seen some detailed Galactuses, but
the box office artist is his handle on
What was it
YouTube.
again?
The box office artist.
box office artist.
Let me just pull up his.
See, we're giving you a plug, box office artist. So, and he's done some insane work.
Sorry, James Rise, Raiz. Is his last
Reyes.
name?
Reyes.
Maybe it's Reyes.
Maybe look him up, Google him.
But yeah, he even got so he did. I guess he did do something for Marvel. He did 10 years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in all like 11 by 17s.
Oh, okay.
So
Hello, everyone.
this guy's amazing.
We're officially a YouTube channel
I know.
because we're watching somebody else do their
on YouTube.
on our YouTube. So we're official.
We're gonna plug James on this
Yeah.
video when we get a
He
chance.
deserves it. He's a great
deserves it.
Chandler, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, rock it
Okay,
out,
Clayton
baby.
Crane.
Clayton Crane. What's he
Okay,
worked on?
explain.
Oh my God, Clayton he's done some phenomenal variant covers. He's out of the Seattle area.
Mhm.
He's actually been in the industry for, I want to say, at least 10, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
But he does some phenomenal stuff.
Is that Clayton?
Yeah.
Someone who actually is,
okay.
I think, he's been around for a while, and for some reason I think while he's been doing plenty of work, I think he's now starting to truly catch people's eyes, and that's Todd Knock.
Oh yeah, Todd's been around forever.
Oh,
I know,
yeah.
but the thing is that you don't really hear his name mentioned.
Great artist.
But he's been actually he's been doing quite a few variant covers lately,
Mhm.
and so he's been knocking out of the park. Now I know
What book would you put him on?
Gosh, well I mean
Todd Knock. Let's be honest. Todd Knock can go in any book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You look at his work he did with Spider-Man and everything.
Yeah.
And I what I was on the phone for was trying to find the proper name, but it's a painter out of Italy. I want to say Luciano Pirello. Luciano Pirello, I think it is.
No, yeah, we gotta look that
The
up.
guy, oh my God, the guy just. There are some guys that are out of the European area, whether you're talking Italy or that region, and they're painters.
Yeah.
And they do some gorgeous, just gorgeous covers.
What internal pages would you put them on? What book? Because you'd have to look at like the Alex Ross style book where it's like very prestigious. So what book would you put them on?
Well, I mean, he was at one point he was on Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And books like that. Honestly, what I think would be fun to see him do, and this would be, I don't think we've seen too much of this in the past, and that is Batman with a painter.
Because
with a painter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know,
Change it all up.
I think that I think because you think, I mean, you think about Batman and you think about the
Jim Lees, the Tony Daniels, the
but then you Batman is I mean, you're talking about dark and everything, and I think painting would really be able to get into that.
So yeah, DC, take a listen.
Clayton Crane doing Batman.
But can you imagine that style in an actual comic, like panel wise? That'd be awesome. Man.
Yeah.
Be like, look at that. Can you see that? That's awesome.
Yeah, you see it. So that would be my choice. Is
Todd Knock? That was a good one too.
Right?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm a big fan of Todd Knock. He's a good guy. I see him at all the shows on the West Coast and everything.
Yeah.
And he's a very underrated.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm not sure. He might be at the Long Beach show coming up.
I hope so.
I believe he lives in Southern Cal.
Or
San Diego or something.
I think one of the reasons why these guys don't get, like, say, for example, Todd Knight, he's been in the industry 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the reasons why, like him, Ken Lashley, and a bunch of other guys that are just now getting recognition, that weren't getting the recognition as Jim Lee, Todd McFarlane, and all that, is because they weren't allowed, while working on X-Men, while working on Excalibur, while working on Spider-Man, they weren't allowed to create their own character. So Jim Lee created Omega Red. Jim Lee created Gambit. Rob Liefeld created 1,000, right?
Major X.
Right. Oh, we're not even going to talk about it. But yeah, like Cable, Domino, Deadpool, so on and so forth.
The people we just named, as far as they haven't created their own characters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I think also part of it is you look at, give you an example, you look at someone like Todd Knock. Todd ended up, and I think you guys being artists have discovered this through trying to, get your own stuff looked at by the majors. Mm-hmm. And that is that the publishers, they look differently at artists for interior work versus cover work.
Yeah.
Interior work, obviously they need an artist who, number one, can hit deadlines.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That's huge.
Now this is insider stuff, so.
Yeah. Where someone who's on a cover, let's face it, they can take a couple weeks to do a cover, while the interior artist is plugging away at doing 28 pages of interior art. So and honestly, you look at up to probably, I want to say up to the point when J. Scott Campbell started doing covers. I don't think you saw artists being recognized in a monetary way for cover work like they, in the past versus how they are today.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is you now have the publishers that are figuring out, okay, we can sell more copies of our book if we bring out a variant cover.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at Marvel with the 50 different covers for Amazing Spider-Man 1 when it re-released in 2014 or 15 or whatever it was, 2014. And it's the publishers have figured that out, and because of that, they also realize that in order to get some of these artists who do some really nice work, they're going to have to pay them some decent money. And because of that, now you have interior artists that are going, wow, okay, so I can make probably not as much, but for a shorter amount of time, I can make as much money doing cover work as I can doing interior art.
Because basically, if you really look at it, At the higher levels, like say Ken Lashley and all the new guys or all the guys that are doing covers now, like variants and all that, they can do 5 covers in a month. That's 5 pages basically, and do just as much as doing 1 book for that whole month, which is 22 to 25 pages.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. You know,
And,
that's
and,
just how
the,
the
and
industry
again,
is.
the 22 to 25 pages you're talking about is that, you know, it depends on what all the person's doing, because you have some artists that are just doing pencils. Then you have some artists that are doing pencils and inks. You know, or pencil, ink, and color. I mean, you know, you know, it also depends on what the artist is working with as far as a blueprint. If you have an artist that is given a very, you know, they're given a script, and here it is, and the writer's laying out the design, which, you know, to me is, I don't know, I have a hard time figuring out how how a writer would know how design worked best. You know, that should be left to the artist. But some writers are that way. They're like, I want it done in this way.
Yeah.
You know, you go back to the old Marvel method. The old Marvel method is, here's, you know, an example would be like what's going on with Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. right now. Basically, Frank sends John an outline. He sends John an outline of, here's the story, here's an outline of the story, and now John is the one that's telling the story. He's the one that's planning out the panels to tell the story, and then Frank just goes and drops the dialogue in. So,
all right. So back to our topic.
I'm sorry.
I saw what you were doing, Bree. I saw that.
I'm sorry. I'm over here like just messing around.
We're
I keep forgetting we have more than one camera. Like over here, I'm looking at the camera like, oh, I'm not on frame. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
but
now you are.
2 cameras. So
anyways,
we're back to it.
I got to throw in one more name that he actually worked on Spider-Man. I think a couple of issues, like fill-in issues maybe. But Eric Canetti, Canete.
Eric Canetti.
He's a great artist, but I think he gets a lot of flack for his Spider-Man work. But I think
why?
I don't know. I just don't think that the style fit the book.
Is it too rigid? Is it too cartoony? Is it too? Because I don't know the artist. I don't know his work.
Oh, you know his work.
Because I mean, Angel Medina, everybody was like, well, him and Humberto Ramos. Humberto Ramos. Even they were like, that's just too, like, he took Todd McFarlane's weird anatomy and, like, you know, poses, and he took it to a whole nother level. And people didn't like that for some reason, because they're like, well,
Humberto?
Yeah. I mean, everybody liked his style, you know, like the way he drew, but there's a lot of pushback from that Angel Medina guy. Because he took from what Todd did to Humberto did into what he was doing, and it was too much for people to understand. And so even though the artwork was spectacular, by the way, people just didn't understand it because it was way farther than they've seen it go before.
Like, I mean, like this is
oh, that's okay. He's all right. You know who else would be really good? Eddie Nunez. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Eddie Nunez.
He's one of Brian Sharp's guys. Him, Livio, like all of those guys. But yeah, Eddie Nunez.
Came out of Wildstorm Studios.
Yeah. So
this guy, part of that group that came out of Wildstorm Studios.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a cartoon style.
For those of you that don't know who Wildstorm is, Wildstorm was that was the name of Jim Lee's studio when he branched off and started his own. When they went off and did their image jump.
The image stuff, yeah.
So
all right.
So okay.
So we got So Eric Canetti, James Reyes.
We're gonna figure that out.
And then you had what?
I had Paolo Pantalena. From Italy. That's about it. Paolo Pantalena from Italy. From Aspen Comics.
And I was saying
Clayton Todd Knock.
You know,
Todd Knock.
Todd
Knock. I mean, yeah.
So yeah, if you guys get a chance, look those guys up. They're freaking amazing.
Quincy Victoria, Jeremy Lasner.
Yeah.
These are all people that you know, you're going to look at their work and it's going to be like, wow, okay, this.
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know why we don't know
like
him.
Todd Knock he's just going to be solid. His work is just going to be solid.
Yeah.
You know, it may not necessarily have the pizzazz that.
I know he kind of does.
you would have with a Clayton or a Perello or someone like that. But at the same time, again, Todd's a great storyteller, and he just puts solid work on the paper.
I mean, you're literally going to go look these people up, hopefully, and you're going to say to yourself, how did I not know this guy's name for the past 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's wonderful. He's been on so many projects. A lot of projects, by the way.
Yeah.
But, again, because he wasn't one of the guys that created the characters, he doesn't get the recognition. So...
Yeah, when you see an artist that ends up going on to a major title like Spider-Man, and he stays on that title for 30, 40, 50 issues, that says something.
Yeah,
that says something. I mean, Humberto. How long has Humberto been on Spider-Man?
Oh man, I think he was on it for almost 6 years.
Something like that.
He did some work on X-Men too.
Yeah.
So, anyways. Last topic.
Yes.
And this one might go fast because
we had another topic.
Yeah. I don't know if I have an answer for this one, but this is our last one. It is, what is your guilty pleasure comic book or comic book type?
Huh?
Okay, I'm going to go first so we can set the tone of this.
Yeah, let Free go. I gotta
it doesn't have to be erotic.
I know.
My guilty pleasure, I got to be honest, I still love Archie Digest. I still love going to like the supermarket and looking at right next to the Inquirer, Star, Archie. Archie the 300-page digest. Betty, Veronica, all the.
Wait a minute. Archie Digest. You're putting in the same category as Star and the National.
That's where they put it.
Oh my God!
Don't have you ever sat in the grocery line and seen you see Star, you see National Enquirer, and then on a little shelf. There's Archie Digest, there's like Casper,
Betty Veronica, the little demon.
It was funny that you sat there and you associated Archie Digest with Star and National Enquirer.
I know.
But it makes sense.
I mean, put you in the same category as Us Magazine and People Magazine. I mean,
and it's there.
But yeah, Archie Digest. I still love Archie.
Wow.
The thing is, one of the reasons why I kind of refused a little bit to watch Riverdale.
Yeah, Riverdale.
Is because they went dark with the character.
Yeah.
And I'm like the Archie Digest guy. I'm like, no, like he's supposed to just want to go to the sock hop and then go to the prom and have 2 dates and all that kind of stuff. So that's my guilty pleasure. It has nothing to do with the superhero genre that I'm normally associated with, or the steampunk stuff that I do. It's either I'm looking at a Norman Rockwell like documentary book or Archie Digest. That's me. There you go.
Chandler.
Well, I guess to a certain degree, I would have to say Terry Moore.
Terry Moore.
Okay. Yeah.
What I mean by that is, Terry came out with a series, Strangers in Paradise, and it's a great series. It's really a great, it's an independent, he's an independent publisher. And it's a great series, and he wrapped up Strangers in Paradise, and from there he ended up going into I forget the order and how he did this, but he then did a series called Echo, and again it was based on female character. Also had a paranormal, sci-fi had a sci-fi factor to it. And then, the next one he did, which was more of a paranormal, and I'm sorry, but the title is escaping me. And now he's working on Motor Girl, and just for me, I don't know why, but I just it's such it helps to get away from the, like you said, the superhero mentality.
Yeah.
They're feel good books. They're feel good stories. The thing with Echo where you had the sci-fi element to it, and you had government and stuff like that, and you just had this girl that was trying to survive. Strangers in Paradise, you're dealing with the dynamics of the love triangle that goes on between Francine and the other characters that are in the book and stuff. And then, like I said, Motor Girl. I mean, I get a kick out of the whole the whole interactions between the main character and the gorilla. And it was interesting because I remember years ago, when I say years ago, this is probably 5-6 years ago, maybe longer than that. I remember sitting down with Terry, and we actually talked about this concept of Motor Girl. And at one point, it was back when I used to be involved, with the Harley Davidson group and everything, and he was actually looking at having Motor Girl working on motorcycles. And so
nice.
he's like, "Hey, Chandler, can you send me some? I'd like to have some really good reference material for motorcycles. Do you have anything you can share with me?" And I ended up sending him a couple different books that had Harley Davidsons and had other, bikes of that era in it that he was able to use, but he ended up shelving the idea for a time being, and that's when he, like I said, he came out with Echo and stuff. And I was glad to see he finally came back with Motor Girl. So my guilty pleasure, as you would say, would be pretty much anything that Terry Moore has been writing.
And did you hear him though? He had to name drop. Yeah, so I was sitting there with Terry Moore having a steak.
I was what?
No, I'm just like, yeah, so, a few years back, I was just sitting there with Terry Moore having a conversation. Just eating steak and, riding
Did
horses.
I say anything about steak?
And riding horses
okay.
and, going on roller coasters together.
All right, so
does that really surprise you?
No, see, the thing is, I want that kind of life.
You've been around me enough to know.
Right, I was like, I was just hanging out with Terry and John Romita Jr. and Sr. and, Larry Bieber and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would you?
All right, so me, what's funny is that, so the definition of having a guilty pleasure is something that you like to do or see or do whatever, but don't want to tell anybody, right?
Well,
so
yeah.
I didn't think of it that way, but go on.
That's a guilty pleasure. Like it's like pro wrestling. Like I love wrestling, but I don't want to tell everybody because
you're like, oh, what?
People might just scoff at me. But whatever.
My guilty pleasure is, we didn't land on the moon.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Anyways, so mine is Paper Girls, which is funny because I always tell everybody how much I love Paper Girls, but I think it's only because, I typically read your very typical superhero books, and then we have Paper Girls, which is totally out of type.
Yes.
For me. So I don't know. I guess that would be my guilty pleasure. I love Paper Girls.
Well, I don't think like our choices. I mean, because we're nerdy. Let's be honest, we're nerdy.
Yeah.
And so we actually we tell people, I love ElfQuest. I love Paper Girls. I love whatever we do. So there's no real hiding it. But at the same time, that's not on the front burner, because whenever anybody talks to us about comics, it's always either about the Avengers or the new movie coming out, or our personal projects that we're doing, or Marvel cards or whatever. I think it's one of those our personal likes.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when the guilty pleasure. It's more of a personal, like I'm not gonna tell you, oh my God, you gotta go out and check out the new Archie Digest. Oh my God, it's like the best 300 pages of my life. You're not going to do that. So it's one of those, I go home and I, take a shower or I sit in the bath and I read my Archie Digest.
Yeah.
See, now.
Sorry. I'm picturing you sitting in the bathtub
with bubbles all around.
Oh my God.
Candles and
my eyes are burning now.
There's candles, incense. I got like
wow.
Enya playing in the background. And I'm over there just like, yes, Betty, you deserve better than that.
All right, so then we got Archie Digest. Terry Moore,
by the way, is great.
Paper Girls
is another great one.
And that's it for our top 3 topics of the day. Yay! When we get back, we're gonna close the show off. So stick around.
I wanna hear you calling my name like, hey mama, mama.
We are back. Welcome back. This is Geeked Out right here on DefTal Radio. That is it for our show, guys. Before we leave, what we have this weekend is SoldierCon over in El Paso, Texas. Free. What are the details?
Yes, SoldierCon in El Paso, Texas. Literally all the LFDF comic crew, including Jeremy Lazar, Jay Savage, Killing Cubstead, myself,
Quincy
Victoria will be down there with a whole bunch of cosplayers. It's a car show, cosplay, and comic con. So you want to check that out. It's going to be really, really exciting. We're driving down tomorrow. We're driving down to Texas.
And I'm leaving on Friday.
Oh my goodness, it's like a 13-hour drive, but it's so worth it to be at Carlos Molina's SoldierCon. So hopefully everybody can be there. El Paso, Texas. Normally it would be on the base, Fort Bliss, but it's actually outside the base at their golf course. So you don't need a pass to get in. You don't need a military pass to get in. So
cool.
Yeah, Chandler.
Yo,
What are
I'm
you
going to be
doing?
at Long Beach, the Long Beach Comic Expo this weekend.
Yeah, that sounds
We're
exciting.
going to be in the FVF booth, also referred to as McFly's Comics. And so Sharon and I will be there hanging out, talking to people and getting books signed for customers and taking care of what we take care of. And we're also going to be announcing... we're going to be announcing the dates of the Great American Comic Con.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
We are going to be coming out with the 2019 dates of the Great American Comic Con, and that will be formally happening. We'll be having information and stuff basically at the Long Beach show.
Okay.
And depending on what time you leave on Friday, I might be able to give you some stuff to take with you to SoldierCon as well.
Oh, we're leaving like 5 a.m.
Oh, okay, that ain't happening.
Okay, never mind.
Am I gonna get a 16-foot table again?
What's that?
Am I gonna get a 16-foot table again?
Because we got a 16. No, for Great American, because you gave us that whole block. Each one of us, each of our 4 artists had 16 feet to work with on each side. So it was huge. It was 2 8-foot tables. So we were like, I don't know what else to fill this with, man. Like, just lay on the.
Basically, so if I'm hearing correctly, basically what you're saying is, I take care of my brothers.
Yes.
I take care of my brothers. Free?
Yes. Oh yeah. No, I thought you were talking at the camera. I'm like, yeah, we take care of our brothers.
I take care of my brothers.
Don't
so,
I do, don't I?
No, yeah,
I almost want to break out and start singing "We Are Family."
Honestly, I had a great time at Great American last year, in 2018, because I got to moderate for the Wendy and Richard Penny 40 years, 0.8 years panel, and they actually appreciated me doing it. They're like, "Oh, this
Oh
is
my
like the
God,
funnest
Free,
one
you were
I've ever seen."
screaming like a girl when
I
I asked
was.
you. When I first asked you to do that piano, it was like my eardrums had to be replaced.
I was going,
I couldn't believe you could go that high.
But
Holy Toledo!
like just to have their affirmation of Free, you did a great job. This was probably one of the best panels we had all year, and it was a small panel. It wasn't San Diego Comic Con. It wasn't WonderCon. And just to have them say that to me and do a drawing for me, and oh my goodness, right? And then also there's like Ron Wilson. I got to talk to him more. Alan Bellman and all the the trip to the hospital with critical care. I mean, it was such a great time. And then of course the Stanley tribute and ceremony celebrating the life of Stanley.
Yeah, I have to say something about that. It's interesting that you look at. There have been people that have commented to me about what we did at the con for Stan versus what was done in LA a couple of weeks ago. And I had people that came up to me and said that they thought that what we did was truly more of an honor, in the sense that we had creators that it gave them an opportunity to have closure. And it was a free event. We didn't charge for that. Anyone was able to walk up and sit in on it. And so, for us, it was our way of truly honoring Stan.
Yeah, well, the only unfortunate thing that happened to me during that is that we opened, I guess, security or whatever, opened the convention, opened the doors before we got done. And so I went to my table because, work's got to get done. And apparently somebody said, oh, they're asking for you like a couple of minutes ago. I could have had the opportunity to contribute to my to the Stanley tribute and ceremony, but I wasn't able to.
Well, one of the things I'm hoping to go will do, because working with Steve Johnson over at Rogue Toys, Steve he wants to do something where each year we're going to do a form of a tribute to Stan that's specific to Las Vegas, because it was several years ago around that time of the year that Stan received the key to the city and the whole bit. And so we want to keep that going. So look forward to being able to get up in front of hundreds of people next time and give your thoughts. And the fact is that you had, the last couple of years, you had a chance to do some stuff where you were in the Stanley booth and everything at what was it, the Los Angeles Comic-Con and stuff. So your chance you still get more opportunities.
Well, I hope so.
Very cool.
All right.
With that being said, that is it for our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and all that good stuff. And tune in next week. When do we drop?
Whenever we put this up.
Hit the subscribe button. Hit the alarm button so that you know when we drop videos on our YouTube channel. So until next week.
You don't know what you're missing if you don't hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Be there.
That is it for our show, folks. I'm your man JQ. This is Free.
Yo.
This is Chandler.
Yo.
And we are out. Peace. JQ with Geeked right here on DefTal Radio. If you want to get more content from us, better make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't know what this